not be the ones to set up the traps for you. But if you were to fail, or if you were to slip up, or if you were to have some sort of a mishap in any area of your life, physical, for example, getting into a car accident, something like that, a mental, just kind of falling apart, having, struggling with life, struggling with emotions, or anything like that. Even in your professional life, they would love to see you, lose your job and things like that. So there are a couple people in your life right now, believe it or not, that would love to see you fail, even if they're not the ones to set up the trap themselves. Okay? They might actually don't put it past them. They might send someone. To set you up. Okay, if they're really bold. But most of them are cowards. They're not gonna do anything. They might just send someone, or they might just wish and hope and keep their eyes peeled to see when you fall down. This is why there's a quote. Some people like to say this: don't let them see you sweat. It's a little bit inauthentic to just have to perform for people all the time. And it's exhausting to have to perform for people all the time, where even if you're having a bad day, you have to pretend like you're having a good day. Even if you're sad, you have to put on a smile and say, oh, I'm happy. It's exhausting, and it's just not real. But to some degree, you can kind of see why people would say that. Don't let them see you sweat. That's why, ideally, you come to a point in your life where you just need to live by yourself. You don't need certain people, and there are, unless you come from a very supportive family background, unless you have a very strong support system, that no matter what, it's like no matter what's going on, everybody's there for each other, doing life and going through the ups and downs is a joy for those people. It's a privilege for those people to be in each other's lives, to be involved, to just do life. Life is not full of roses all the time. There are ups and downs, there are peaks and valleys, there's highs and lows. And the average person knows that. The logical person knows that, right? But people that are evil, that have an evil spirit, yeah, they're looking out, waiting to see when you will fall apart, one way or another. Even if they don't lift a finger themselves to make it happen, they would love for somebody else to cause that for them. Okay? So they can say, aha, see, you're not so great after all. Okay? Those are jealous people, those are evil people, envious, people that have nothing going on for themselves. Always. Because people that are busy focus on themselves, not just themselves, but focus on moving forward, focus on contributing in the world. So in a sense, they're focused on themselves, trying to get themselves together to be able to contribute, to be able to add value to society, right? People like that, they don't have time to ponder, how can I set you up? How can you fall apart? How can something bad happen? They don't have time for that. Okay, only useless, idle people with a lot of time on their hands think this way. Okay, so that being said, watch your back. Okay, watch your back. Be aware that there's people in your circle right now that want your demise. And that's not a good feeling. That's not a good place to be, right? Period. Okay, it doesn't matter how strong you are, how, advanced you are, and such. At the end of the day, you're still a person. You're still a human being. You need to know that your circle is stable, even if it's like one person in there, one person circle, if that makes sense. But you don't need a big crowd. You don't need a big crowd. That's the point. Okay, you need solidarity. That's what you need. You need stability. Okay. You don't need 10,000 things, 10,000 people going on. Okay. In fact, the more people you have, the more problems you have. So it's just too many complexities, especially when you're from certain backgrounds, where people all they can do is fixate on other people's lives and issues, even creating issues to give them to make their lives more complicated. So keep your circle small and keep your eyes open, because people don't always want, not everyone in your life, in your vicinity, want what's best for you. They just don't. Period. They just don't. Okay? They don't. And you have to know that. You have to be aware of that. And when you see that, don't waste time. Cut them off. Cut them off. And start making plans. Start making your exit as needed, because you don't need to be around that. Period.